Hey everybody, and welcome to my N5 series on the Akai MPC, where I cover a topic in about 5 minutes. Barney writes in and asks if you have a sample loaded into your MPC, how do you take that sample and get the effects that you may have put onto it to kind of bake them in, as it were? And it's pretty easy, but I think that there's a few things that are worth discussing for how you might go about doing this. So first up, let's just say we go to expansions. It doesn't terribly matter what we've got here. I'm just going to load one of these into the drum kit track that we've got. And it's probably got some effects on it already. And actually, I think I can turn that up a little. Excuse me. So if we come in here and go to FX, we can see there's a bus compressor. Let's just delete this out of here. We're going to go for something that's like a little bit more intense here on this track. So let's go for reverb. We're going to go grab spring reverb. We want our drums to sound like they are in a cave. So let's say I want to end up recording these drums. The easiest way to do this, if I want to bake the sample in, would be to do something like go into sampler. So I'm just going to double tap mix. And you're going to want to go from input. You're going to want to switch this. I got a lot of inputs now, but I'm going to switch it to resample left and right. The reason why we're going to do that is so that it's going to take whatever's going on the output of the MPC, and that's what we're going to record. So if I go hit arm, play that note, and then once it's done playing, hit stop. I've now got it. It's going to say new sample. It's asking where I want to put it. If I want to actually save it as part of the drum kit, maybe I put it up over here, and I would probably just call this like kick verb or something so that I know what it is when I come back later. And I'm going to say keep it, and we should have it right there. Now it's going through two reverbs now, because if we go back here, we still have the reverb on. And then if we go to this, we get that sample that's got the reverb on it, and I probably don't want that. So at this point, what I would do is just delete this out from the interface and come back. I've now got just the one that's got the version that's got reverb. And if I go back to the first page, we get the clean one. So I can actually now come in pretty easily and just record a sample. So the reason why I'm playing this out is I can now do this. Now, maybe the timing's a little poor, but let's put this here. We'll put it there. Just moving it. So if I basically have that kick sound, but now I've baked in the sample. Now, a couple other things though that you might want to do. And the reason why I would probably come back and what I want to show is, let's say we got an instrument. Maybe it doesn't have any samples to it, but we want to actually sample that so we can chop it up and do some fun things with it. A couple ways you'd go about doing this as well. We're going to go grab a plugin, and I'm not super concerned what it is. Let's go mini D. It should load up pretty quick. Yeah, we'll go for this mini wood. So now let's say we want this sample, but we want to add in we want to go from this being an instrument to sample. So what's another effect that might be fun to do here? We're going to go harmonic, and we're going to go diode clip. So we want to make it sound kind of toasty and different. Now, different way about going about doing this might be, if we name this, we can actually then go use our auto sampler to record this into a new key group and have a nice name for it. So I'm going to call this, we'll call it Toasty Synth. And with this, if I now just go double tap on mix to get into sampler, you can see that there's a little keyboard icon, and we'll grab that. And because we already were on this Toasty Synth, it's just going to know that that's the track that we want to record from. And with the minor note, it depends on how low down the keyboard you want to go, but let's say we want to go down to C1. Now, you may want the stride to be 1, which will mean it's going to record one note every single, basically every single, one sample for every single note that's in that key group. can take a very long time though if you're going to do that. So, stride of 6 is basically every octave it's going to record 2 notes. I personally like to go like every 3 just because it doesn't have to do as much stretching of those notes or pitch shifting. So you get less artifacts. But if you really want to take and make sure you have something like if you add like a wow or and flutter or a delay or something that you want to make sure you're preserving BPM or certain speed of like the wow and flutter going in because it's time based, you need to that really consider going down to a note stride of 1. I'm going to go 3 though because I don't want this to take forever. Whoops. Don't need that. And a couple other things I'm going to note here. Note length. I don't think we want to hold it that long. I'm going to make it more plucky. So let's go down to 1 second. Tail, we're going to leave half a second. That way we're not spending a lot of time, but you do want to think about how long you want these samples to be because if you make them very long and the sound itself is very short, you're going to use a lot of your memory up, and then you're going to probably want to go through and re-chop everything to crop them. Sorry, not chop. You might want to come back and crop everything. I'm going to leave the name as Toasty Synth Auto Sampled, and looping, I'm going to turn off. I find looping here to usually be pretty terrible. Sometimes it works. Usually it doesn't do what you want. It doesn't actually check for start points. Auto trim's nice because it just gets rid of like a short period of silence at the front. And on completion, we'll make actually we don't want to make the current track. So it says it's going to take 18 seconds. It's probably doing around like 16 notes or so. So we're going to hit do it. And we're going to hear, it's going to go through and play all these notes. You can hear they're nice and toasty. They do sound different. And at the end of this, we'll have something that we can then save as a key group, share with other people or whatever. And we're done. So we see we're in Toasty Synth Auto Sampled. I mean, it sounds fine to me. This sounds super playable. And we can come back to the original synth and, we can just either turn off or get rid of this. We can play this. We can come in and add some more. You can do this process of auto sampling as much as you want. So probably the 2 main ways I would consider actually getting sampling is one, just like resample a single note by itself if that's what you're looking to do. Go through, name it so that you don't forget what the heck it is and can work with it. Otherwise, if you're taking something that's more like a key group or a synthesizer or something, you want to apply some effects that you can save for later, my advice would probably be to just use the auto sampler and go grab it. Anyway, thanks for the question. Everybody, thanks for stopping by. Keep making music, keep having fun. Remember, if it sounds good, it is good. And peace.